I'm going to be running the meeting, which I used to run all the meetings anyway. So, everybody have a good week.
You bet.
Tell me what was good about
it. I would say, most importantly, a lot of buyer-seller meetings, a lot of activity, and especially for me, it's seeing a lot of young professionals, that are currently with very large companies that are looking like with SpaceX or Northrop or Boeing, some of the big companies that are looking to make the jump to be entrepreneurs. For me, that's very exciting to see young professionals looking to be independent and become entrepreneurs and buy a business.
That is great. That is great to hear something like that. So I guess one of the really good questions is the market seeming to pick up for you?
For me, I would say, yeah, first quarter is very active. And I think last year for the business brokers in general was characterized by the disruption of the sharp rise in interest rates in the first half. So, sellers pulled back, buyers found it a lot more difficult, and it wasn't until really the fourth quarter that the solid footing was regained. I think everyone's adjusted to the new reality. I mean, buyers and sellers now understand what the interest rate environment is, and we're seeing a lot of activities, a lot of deals are moving forward and into escrow.
Two other factors that may also be helping out. Number one, first of all, interest rates now look like they're going to be going down in the near future, probably the next 6 to 8 months. So that gives people more optimism. Second of all, the Dow has been up about 10%, which means some of the companies that were just mentioned have had stock increases where there may be enough money from some of these people working for those companies through stock options, whatever, to take that money out and use that to buy a business where they may not have had that a year ago as well.
Hey, Russell.
Good morning.
Good morning. You follow the interest rates and all that stuff like there's no tomorrow. Why don't you chime in?
I'm not sure what I'm chiming in on, but we're talking about the general forecast of the economy.
Yeah, sure.
I think all the lagging indicators are showing that we're not heading for a recession. All the talking heads are saying, like I think Moshe said, 9 months, 12 months if when. But there's a couple indicators in making me a little nervous. The average bill payment, the date people tend to pay their bills to banks has shifted out a couple days, which is meaning people are running out of cash. Delinquencies are around 7%. The red flag is about 10%. But otherwise, you've got some disruption in the shipping lines, Panama and Suez Canal, but I'm still bullish. I think as Moshe said, that people are now, or Phil said, people are now accustomed to 6-7% is a normal interest rate. And those graybeards in the room remember, I was talking to somebody the other day, had an 18% mortgage, and I was thrilled when my mortgage came in at 9.78. And now people are freaking at 6.5, 7. It's real. It's a lot more expensive to borrow at 6 than 2. But that was artificial. If you look at the 50-year run on interest rates, we're pretty much at the norm now. If I were to be on the Federal Reserve, I think, don't reduce the rates yet. I don't think they're coming down, but I don't think they're going up either. The inflation report Monday, 0.4% increase over the previous month, was one of the larger ones we've had in about a year, but it's still at 3.1. It's not a linear path. It's a variable path. So I don't know if that's what you meant by chime in, but that's my 3 cents.
Yeah, no, that's fabulous, because I think people are kind of lost. The general John Q. public is lost when it comes to what's happening with the economy. And I think you just painted a very good light on that.
Well, and the decision makers are lost because we had a seismic event called the pandemic. And if you look at every chart, there's this spike. And now it's kind of like when you throw a boulder into a lake, the ripple effect occurs. We're still feeling the ripple effect of that seismic event. And it's beginning to settle down. but you know, the lake level's a little higher than it was. So I think it's hard for Powell and Treasury secretaries to say, oh, let's rely on past information because we never had that before, at least in 100 years.
I love this higher level conversation. And Wayne, it's like as I say, it's about the timing. And I think this year we enjoy this year, and I think we're all moving forward in a favorable environment going through this year and into the election. But what I see going ahead is some serious deflationary storm clouds on the horizon for the U.S. And for the rest of the world, it's already there. Japan officially went into recession with a second quarter. Europe is in recession in general, the German economy, the Chinese economy, and their situation, despite the propaganda and what they're putting out, is, I would say, depressionary in its context. Their property market, stock market, that's one of the biggest economy, or no, number one, number two economy in the world. A harbinger of things to come. If I can, I hope I'm not taking too much time. I know it's short. A harbinger of things to come to watch for, because I always feel like I'm 18 months to 24 months ahead of the curve because of my international exploitability. I was in import-export trade for so many years. Is that in Alaska? Okay, and I did a lot of fish business, seafood in Alaska for many years. A lot of the major plants, Trident, Peter Pan, Icicle, a lot of these major plants are shutting down for the season. Right, these are the anchors for the local communities up there. They're the people that buy the fish and seafood products from the boats and the fishermen, process them and ship them all over the world and the United States. They're closing down because they're losing money. The prices of seafood products have dropped so dramatically, salmon, crab, whatever it is, have dropped dramatically. Why? Because their major target markets and major consumers that pay the high prices are Japan, Korea, China. The demand has collapsed in those markets. Collapsed. I mean, there's just restaurants are shutting down, people don't have money, or they're saving money, they can't pay on the mortgage. That translates through to there's no demand for those black cod or the crab or all the high prices, and the fishermen are going to find they have nowhere to deliver to the season. That impacts the tax base. That's going to create unemployment. Taxpayers are going to end up having to subsidize that. That's one microcosm impact of what's going on globally. We are part of the global community in terms of exports, imports. So when I say deflationary, what's going to happen is with a very, very strong dollar in the U.S. economy, we are going to become the dumping ground for the world. Everyone that's investing in manufacturing and shipping is going to find the United States, maybe Mexico too. We are the best and highest market. So in an election year, going into an election year, something like a Trump presidency where they're promising to raise tariffs and protect the U.S. market is going to resonate strongly with consumers by the end of this year and going into 25. Because otherwise our manufacturers and our wholesalers and distributors, they're going to get undermined by a flood of cheap imports coming. It's going to be very tough. So that's what I see going forward. That said, right now we're still in a rising cost and kind of a tight labor in most sectors situation, like Russell's saying, and I think 24 is going to be a pretty good year, but I've never seen anything like this on a scale in my 30 plus years of doing international trade in terms of deflation and recession globally. That's going to impact us.
Well, you know what?
You sure the reason that prices for crab and shrimp and other fish are dropping isn't or is having a problem isn't because more people are keeping kosher?
Well, then you got in California.
I'm sure that factors in, Moshe. I don't know.
Then on April 1st, you got this new California minimum wage for restaurants where they have to pay $20 to flip fries. That impact's already baked into the economy. If I've got a client in that business, they've already had to pay that $20 because people perceive that's the market. But I think that's going to be an inflationary contributor.
I agree. In fact, Uber drivers are already feeling the effects of it because they're going to make $20 an hour, but people are dropping the tips that they're giving them, so they're going to actually be making less net than they would have otherwise. So it's already having an effect already on that. By the way, I want to go back to one point that Phil made a moment ago. And I don't follow fish the way he does. And all kidding aside, I don't need to be a smart ass, but it just came naturally about the kosher. Part, I think, of the reason the prices are also having a problem, there's an issue with fish and the prices are increasing for a while, is also due to the fact that they're limiting fish catch. And the only countries that are there are certain countries that are violating some of that. That's China and some of the others, but other countries, because of the limit of fish, of the amount of fish you can catch and the size of the fish and everything else, I think it's also increasing the price, which is coming back to bite as a result. It's making it more difficult for companies who are on the margins to stay in business.
You know what, gang? Three very intelligent people are routinely show up at this meeting. And I want to thank you.
More than that, there's a lot of intelligent people who show up.
Oh, yeah. I kind of said that in great, but these are, okay, boom. It's fascinating.
Yeah, we're going to leave it to everyone's judgment as to who those three people might be. Yeah.
Well, we put up with
the
Bob.
three
That's
people that
okay.
chimed in about the economy. Let's put it that way. Maybe I could sweeten what I said a little bit. But you know, it's really fascinating watching this, because people that study this economy kind of lead, you know, that and know what they're doing. They kind of help us move forward. What we need to be thinking about. What are we thinking about? There's going to be a recession or not? That is so vitally important, right?
Yep.
Anybody want to make a quick comment, and then we'll go around the room and.
Awareness and preparedness doesn't mean you straitjacket yourself. And that's what I'm seeing in some very conservative states, that uncertainty the market doesn't like uncertainty, and people are not acting rationally because the market's not rational right now. So that's where the psychological recession, but that's beginning to lift. CEO sentiment is up, general consumer sentiment is up. But if you straitjacket yourself and overanalyze it, you're going to cause a recession.
The other thing I want to add, and Mr. Luckadoo has been, I'll defer to him always. But there's a difference between having a recession and having a lower standard of living. And we have three things going on right now that are creating that. First of all, because of inflation and other aspects, I think it now supposedly costs about $11,000 more a year for the average family than it did last year. So now what are they giving up to pay for that inflation? And that is vacation and other things like that. So there is an effect. I've said all along, I've always agreed that we aren't in a recession, but I've always disagreed with the fact that the economy is improving when the living standard has been dropping. So that would be the main thing I would say on that issue, because I think it's part. The only good the other thing I was going to say is look at the prices that are going up at Chipotle's and other places in anticipation of the California, and you know, if it happens in California, other states are going to start to follow suit the same way. I mean, they've out Bernie Senator Sanders.
I'd like to chime in from the dumb side of the room.
I'm there.
I probably deal in a little more intimate environment from the standpoint of the economy, and what I see is, and to me this is a harbinger of what people will do, is if they're still willing to travel, and I mean travel extensively, then the economy isn't that bad. And I've got people booking out as far as 2026 to get what they want.
Well, maybe they have to save all that time to be able to afford to travel in 2026.
No, because they're paying for it now.
Okay.
I know, by the way, all of you in California, did you all see the knucklehead who's running for Senate who proposed a $50 minimum wage?
Yeah, just
Which
crazy
idiot?
stuff.
We've got several idiots running for Senate.
Well, they're all idiots. I mean, yeah, I don't think this.
Okay, gang, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start by going around the room and everybody give us their 30-second elevator pitch. Let's start with Betty.
Okay, thanks, Bob, and thank you to all of these smart people in the room. I don't think we have a single dumb person here. I'm Betty Withrow, the Writer's Launchpad. I do all kinds of writing projects of different natures, including now I've added, do you want to have a digital magazine to the possibilities? I want to alert everybody to the fact that I have just uploaded yesterday the new version of the Essential Excuse Handbook, which is on Amazon, 77 ways to keep from doing anything at all. So if you like really don't want to get anything done, this book will help you do that. If you want to see excuses for what they really are and find ways to redirect that energy so that it's productive and supports your life instead of destroying it, this book will really give you a humorous, tough love take on it. So I do all kinds of other things related to writing, ghostwriting, editing, author coaching, content creation, etc. And I'm sure I've used more than 30 seconds. So thank you.
No, but that was great. That was really, I'll tell you something. I'm sure the rest of the people in this meeting appreciated what you had to say. All right,
Really
let's move on to let's see. Somebody just switched around here. Edward, why don't you chime in?
All right. Well, Ed Cicinnato, I am the franchise owner of Edward Cicinnato and Associates Dream Vacations. We are number 168 out of 204 franchises in the company in sales. And Dream Vacations as a company was voted the number one franchise organization in the country by, I think it was Entrepreneur Magazine. We do everything from cruises to all-inclusive resorts to tours, excursions, groups. I have 10 associates that work with me, and each of them specializes in a particular segment. I've got one who does luxury, one who does 55 plus. I do groups. I've got another one who does what she calls urban travel. The other ones do other various things. And one last thing I'd like to mention is there are no fees for our services. And if you're not traveling, you're not learning anything.
Good statement. Well, you know what? You kept it down to almost 1 minute. So thank you so much. All right. Phil Wolfstein.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Great to be here this morning. It's Phil Wolfstein, certified business broker with Zoom Business Brokers. What I do is I help business owners and sellers find qualified buyers for their business. And I want to stress that is a process. I always like, it's not, a lot of people think about selling their business, or when they get to the point of selling their business, that it's an event. It just happens. It doesn't just happen. There's a lot of moving parts. And I want to stress that the emotional component is a really key part of this. And I'm dealing with that now as you go through that. But for somebody that is owned and operated business for 25, 30 years or more, put their life into it, probably spent more time with their business and employees than they have with their family, their kids in some instance, it's a big deal. And that doesn't matter whether it's a $500,000 business or a $20 million business, which is really the space that I'm focused on, 5 employees to about 50 employees. Making that transition, that life transition out of your business and retiring or moving on is a big deal. It's an emotional deal. The buyer coming in might be, especially if it's a first-time buyer, an entrepreneur, very big deal for them too. So it's important to be tuned into that, as well as the technical side of doing the deals.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you did it in 56 seconds. Man,
Good.
I love it. Okay, Russell, you're up.
Thank you, Bob. Russell Luckett, I'm the HR guy for small business. It usually says that on my tag here. I'll fix that in a second. But my job is to work with business owners to align their team with their dream. So the best way to help me grow my business is, of course, I want to learn about yours. If you want a one-on-one, please put my contact information in the chat. But when that business owner goes, these employees are driving me nuts, or their advisor says, I can't talk to my client about anything but his people and I can't help him. Those are 2 cues for saying, hey, we need the HR guy here. And appreciate the opportunity to meet and work with you guys.
Good stuff, man. And you did it in 40 seconds.
And I just thought of a possible lead for you. Look forward to setting it up, Russell.
Thank you very much. And
No, my pleasure.
and I took more time prior to this, so I'm not short on time.
Yeah, you're one of the 3 intelligent people he was referring to.
God help us.
Sometimes you say something stupid that's really brilliant.
I'm good at the first part.
Okay, so let's see. Next one up. Let's do Debbie Voris.
Hi, I am Debbie, your certified holistic health coach. What is the most important part of your life? Your health. So I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root cause of their health problems and create a custom, natural, holistic strategy to resolve them. I have many programs. I have the weight loss programs as well as others, and you can reach me for my services as well with the Zytoscan links. It's all in the chat. So I will change your life, and you'll see a difference with my coaching services from Debbie Changes Lives. Very
good. Very good. And you did that in 31 seconds. Very cool. One of the purposes of this group is, one of the main purposes is to refer business. And I created what I call the Mycity referral software. And it, the person that puts the most referrals through our system is Alan Holmes. And I got to commend him for that. Don't get lazy with putting referrals through our system, because those referrals get sent to Google. So all this stuff has bearing, and I like to make sure that people are communicating. And I'm gonna, not to be a big talker here, but I have a system called the 3-Touch system. It's all out of mycity.com. If you haven't joined Mycity, you should. We're seeing the traffic go up every day on Mycity, so that's a darn good thing. But I went to a seminar, must be 4 or 5 years ago, by a professor at UCLA, and he spoke saying that if you contact people 3 times in 1 month, you will rapidly take them from prospect to relationship, and that's the key to it. So keep that in mind in the discussions. Now, I also created another software called the 3-Touch system. I also call it the NAG system. Scott Harrell, in a video that we did several years ago, he mentioned that it's called the NAG system. Why? Because where are we deficient? We're deficient in the fact that we're not great at follow-up. That's where things fall through the crack. That's where you don't generate business, because you're not, show people that you care. That's why the 3-Touch system makes a lot of sense. Okay. Anyway, if you want to know more about it, contact me. So next one up, I got
Bob. I recommended David K join. You might want to go with him next. Good to see you again, David.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hey guys. Hey, how are you? I'm David K. I was referred by Russell, so you can blame him. I am with ADP, so I specialize in retirement plan sales for small businesses. But I also do HR outsourcing. So if you're looking for health insurance or workers' comp or total HR outsourcing for a small business, let's say 50 employees or under, that's what I work on. Of course, ADP does payroll, but a lot of people don't know ADP is also the #1 provider of 401k plans in the country. Also, the total source solution, which is HR outsourcing, is known as the #2 largest private employer in the country. So David K with ADP, look forward to working with you.
And you put your information in the chat room, right?
I will do that right now.
Great, great. Okay, Bill Schweber, talk to us.
Hello, Bill Schweber. I'm in the car. I'm waiting to stop to join the meeting. I do IT data forensics, and I run a legal networking group.
That was short and sweet.
I battery juice. Come on. Anybody, you can always reach out to me. No, I can't put my information in the chat.
Who originally invited you to this group? Do you remember?
Absolutely, Mush.
Oh, okay, great. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you for attending. All right. Who do we got next? Eileen, you want to talk to us?
Sure. My name is Eileen Dawson, and I was referred by Alan Holmes. I know he's quite the connector. And I am a certified Ramsey money coach. I work with individuals and couples and do group presentations for small and mid-sized companies in the area of personal finance education. The majority of my clients are usually in debt to some level, with credit cards, student loans, vehicle loans, or other types of loans. And then some clients actually want help with saving and that kind of thing. And I'm not a retirement specialist, so I have a friend that I refer people to that does all the retirement and the mutual funds and insurance, all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, so I stay in my lane. I'm in the deep end with people and helping them try to get to the staircase so I can pass them off to be able to focus on their retirement. So
I love what you just said. I'm sure everybody else did too. So,
it's a
okay.
visual, isn't it?
Yeah. Powerful. We have a meeting after this, right? You have that in your calendar?
Yes, we do.
Beautiful.
And just want to let you know it's worth your time because I've met with her on more than one occasion. It's definitely every time I've been a better person for it.
Really nice
Thank you,
statement.
Moshe.
Nice statement. All right. Got a guy I've known for quite a few years, Joel Bash. You want to give us your 30-second elevator pitch?
And thank you, Bob. Hello, everyone. Joel Bash. I have a company that does business introductions. I've been doing it 30 years. I introduce professionals to each other. I personally know over 18,000 professionals, and I specialize in replication, meaning I don't tell people who they should meet. People tell me who they want to meet. And since I know them, I could vet them, find the ones that can refer work to you and want to meet you. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask you this. You say they know the individual that you already
Well, they're telling me how they get business. I get work from real estate attorneys. Well,
Oh,
I know 300 of them.
got it.
So I could
Got
vet
it.
them and introduce them.
Perfect.
Well,
That's great.
Can I ask you a question? Say, if I have a electrical contracting business in Florida and I'm looking to meet the owner operators of other commercial, industrial, electrical contracting businesses in Florida, North Carolina, Georgia area, is that something, if I came, does that resonate with you? Is that something that sounds like it might be good, or is that too far afield?
Well, it's just that I deal with service professionals. I'm not dealing with company owners. So if I did that full time, I could, but service professionals give work to other service professionals. Like in your case, business broker, business attorneys, CPAs, consultants, anybody that represents companies that are buying and selling.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Moshe, you're up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. My name is Moshe Math. I'm a partner in a company called Neurotrained Sciences. Best way to describe what we do, my partner talks about biofeed-in and biofeedback. If you're driving over the speed limit, you take your foot off the gas pedal, you get to see the immediate response, which is you slow down. With our system, you get to benefit from the different modalities of sound, light, and vibration in the zero gravity position, which takes your mind, body into relaxation, and you feel it as a result of it, as opposed to you're making an effort to make the change on your own behalf. I mentioned this before. I was at a trade show at a massage health convention in Framingham, Massachusetts. And someone asked me once, what does your system do? And I said to her, you see that glass of wine in your hand? I said, our system does what that does without the calories and the after effects.
I love it. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Next one up, I have Alan Holmes.
Can you hear me, Bob?
Great, yes.
Okay, yeah, new headsets here. You know what? Before I begin, I just want to say thank you for the Mycity Business News Network, economy news, and your incredible guests sharing the news. Because my associate, who I shared with you earlier, transitioned earlier this week to the world above. He's my mentor for 5 years. I miss him dearly. But I know that he is looking above, down on all of us, because this is what he always talked about on the news and just business economy. And as a human search engine, that's what I do. I slow the world down long enough to get them to understand what I do. And the community essence of business, and I'm the master connector for building it. That was Betty Withow's words to me. So I know that, congratulations, Betty, from the bottom of my heart. Debbie, you and your show with the Women's Network, I talked to some amazing women this week, so congratulations to that as well. So now on to my goal before I run off my 30 seconds. It's been not so much good week until I came to this amazing platform here. I specialize in connecting business owners, entrepreneurs, and consumers with unique and innovative resources. In short, I call myself a human search engine. Had an incredible first radio show because of Kurt Roscoff this week, so I don't know how that's going to fly. Continue, but it was a great show. So it was all just because of the momentum, because of the Mycity family, and Bob and I having various different conversations throughout my 8 to 9 months. So from all of us at Mycity, this is a world that I believe the referrals are going to be incredible for 2024. So now, Bob, I'm going to hand the mic back to you because I'm passing my 30 seconds. Amazing. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your panel. Bob, back to you at Mycity, California, because of that wise crack you had with the California crack. But love you. Thank you.
You know, and I'm just going to shout out here now. Alan gives more referrals than anybody in our system. He's always good for several referrals each week. And we record them, we send them out so that people can see, create some visibility for you. That's the real core to this thing. And, you know, I go back and I do the same study year after year. Referrals are still a very important aspect of people's business. And if you're not doing that, you should. Why not get promoted as a referral person? And that's exactly what Alan does. So he's always good for putting a few referrals through the system each and every week. All right. And thanks again, Alan. Corey, you
thank you for bringing a super connector, Mr. Joe. Yes, I wanted to add that because I'm a master connector, but he is a super connector. What he does, my goodness. Agreed. Thank you for having another meeting.
Agreed. Okay, Corey, you're up.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Friday morning. My name is Corey Northenson. I'm based here in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm an independent associate of Legal Shield, PPLSI. I help empower business owners with what I call the Netflix of legal and identity theft services. So for a monthly subscription, you have the ability to talk to lawyers and law firms across the continental US and Canada about anything pertaining to grow your business, whether it's legal advice up to documented contract reviews, if you're trying to also do trademarks, copyrights, and tons upon tons of other benefits as well. So it's like a right now benefit. You don't have to wait. And we are here to help and serve. So the company has been around for over 50 years. I've been an independent associate with them for almost 15 years. So thank you so much. I left my information in the chat. Glad to be here in Mycity once again. And thank you, Bob, for the opportunity to speak.
Hey, Corey, seriously, why don't you advertise yourself as AAA of the legal field?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's an idea, man.
If I had my card to it, it would cost a hell of a lot more than the fact I have AAA, and the stations that are AAA stations have some kind of obligation morally to not rip people off. And that's what legal, I mean this in a positive way, so I'm not trying to bust your chops. I hope you don't take it that way.
Oh, no,
Or those who are
no.
listening think I mean it in a sarcastic way. I don't. But give
Oh,
it some
no.
thought.
Okay, well, thank you. No, I will. Thank you.
All right.
Well, that might be a copyright infringement.
I'll refer to if he speaks here, not if he puts it in paper. So-
If he puts it in paper, he's in trouble.
We'll come up with something. It's always something that intrigues people, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Because that interview is still helping out a great deal. So thanks, Bob.
You're quite welcome. All right, so the next person I have up is Eli Hibden. Or Ellie?
Yes, I am officially called Ellen. My name's Ellie Hibden, and I am a freelance writer. I create content for businesses, everything from social media to landing pages, emails, email marketing, and I do that. I provide marketing strategy analysis. If you're worried you might not be communicating enough with your prospects and your community, let me know and I'll give you a consultation. So that's me. I have my information in the chat here. Thanks.
Yeah, who invited you here,
Let's see.
if you remember?
Yeah.
Is it Go Ute, Ellie?
I believe, yes.
It doesn't matter. I mean, but if
Okay.
you think of it,
Glad to have you here this morning.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. The name of the game. Okay, so where am I at? David K., you didn't speak yet, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did, okay.
The person who didn't speak is Dr. Damar.
Yeah,
And
DeMar
Jacob
Lewis.
also, I think, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and Jacob.
Yeah, me, DeMar, and Burke, I believe, just added
Yep.
in here a little late.
Yep, yep. Well, since you're up, go for it.
And you also Bob.
Yeah, the man of the hour. My name is Jacob Bassett. I'm located in Illinois, outside of Chicago. The company I'm with is Preferred Funding. We have direct relations with major banks and credit unions as an alternative route for business owners, investors, and individuals to have access to traditional lenders for their working capital needs. Whether they are brand new startups with no business credit history or revenue yet, or an established business owner with revenue and credit history, our programs are kind of unique that work around those restrictions that the new business owners may have.
Excellent. Excellent. Good stuff. All right. Who am I down to? Ellie, did you speak? You didn't speak yet.
Yes, you
Ellie
did.
just did.
Oh, you
Yes,
did.
you
Oh,
did.
that's right. That's right. Okay.
So it's
Bob,
Burke,
you have
DeMar,
Burke
and Patty.
and Kurt and Emily and
Oh,
Maury.
Kurt, Emily.
Yeah. Who wants to speak? Emily, you want to step up?
So, hi everybody. I am Emily, a virtual assistant, podcast assistant, here in Madison, Wisconsin. And am working with a number of different projects. And helping Kurt on some stuff. Everybody's welcome to join us on one of our podcasts. We are working with a platform called Easy Expo, where I can help or set up a virtual booth for you, like at a conference, but it's like year round. And we have quite a few other projects going on, so if anybody's interested in finding out more, just let me know and I'll put my information in the chat.
Please. Yeah, please do. Who brought you here?
Here, between Patty and Alan.
Oh, great. Nice. Okay. I think we're down to Kurt.
There we go. I call myself the bottom of the barrel. You got down to me, folks, and I'm here because of Alan, Emily, and Patty Lou. I'm out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I do marketing through technology and events, including podcasting. And we've got tools like No Card, and we've got our Ability Fest Easy Expo that is all there to help me be a troubadour of what you do. Let's do it together. I'm Kurt Roska from Milwaukee. Back to you. Thanks, Bob. Wow, what a group. 22 of us.
Bob, before you go further, Kurt and I are friends, but I got to tell you, the kind of robe you have on, that's something I would expect to see from Hugh Hefner. So
let's see it again. Let's see it again. Say something. Yep, never. Okay.
The masks in the background.
Oh my God, this is fun. Okay, Patty Lou, you're up.
Good morning, everyone. I got this spinning wheel of death this morning trying to log on, so that's why I'm late. Yes, I'm your best kept secret in sports. I know now parents are signing up their kids for summer, so if you know anyone with young kiddos, or even if they're already in college, they can still use me to improve their performance and increase their chances of getting and keeping that athletic scholarship. Besides helping them by using my sports psychology techniques, I also mentor them through the college athletic scholarship process. And the best thing about my services is that you can do it from the comforts of your own home, save money and gas at the same time. Driven to Peak Performance is the name of my company. And for those who say kiddos are too young, 70% drop out by the time they are a teenager.
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy numbers. All right. Did I miss anybody?
Yes, Burke and DeMar.
Oh, there
do
he
you have-
is. There he is. Hey, Burke, step up.
Good morning, everybody. Burke Franklin, businesspowertools.com. I'm up in Carpinteria, California. Business Power Tools is an online dashboard for collaborating on business plans, employee handbooks, marketing plans, spreadsheets, financial models. It's a long list of stuff. It started 30 years ago when I created a business plan for a friend to win a deal with Apple. And people think business plans are just for startups or raising capital. And of course they are, but beyond that, then you morphs into your strategic plan. It's great for, well, pitching a big company so they can know that you can fulfill a big deal. If you're a corporate captive and you're looking to jump ship, I suggest you plan your escape carefully, and a business plan will help you do that. And it's got a complete 5-year financial model with an option. We have a 10-year model as well, which is interesting. So it's a very, if you want to standardize, if you work with clients and you want to standardize a business planning process for all of them, it makes it really easy for you, and it makes it easier for you to work with them. So you can work with clients online and collaborate with these things. And so businesspowertools.com, my information's in the chat. Give me a call, but we can I'm happy to demo it for you. So take a look. Thanks.
I'll tell you why I love what Burke is doing. When you go through that process, it makes you think, it makes you organize and get things under control. And a lot of people run their businesses by what we typically say, seat of the pants. And if you're not doing that, you don't have the concept for it. It'll change your life. So Burke is a very necessary ingredient for you. If you have not talked to him, you should.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, have I missed anybody?
Yeah, DeMar.
Oh, there. That's right. That's right. DeMar's, talk to us.
Good morning, everyone. I feel like I'm getting a bonus because I got a chance to talk to Bob last night. But I am a business profit strategist, and I can show any business within less than 5 minutes how to double their profits using a proprietary piece of software that has over 500 million algorithms for different businesses of different sizes. And, as Burke was just saying, one of the biggest things with businesses is they don't have a plan. And so being able to have a plan not only for their strategic plan or their business plan, but have a plan on what they're going to do to become profitable or scale their business. A lot of times they're working on the wrong things as opposed to working on the things that are going to drop to their bottom line.
Very good stuff.
May I just make one other point about Dr. Lewis from a personal experience? I've spoken to him. In fact, I have to again, and I can tell you firsthand how patient he is, and how even if it doesn't benefit him directly, he's always been available, and I can't thank him enough. For myself, I've seen it with others as well. So I just want to make sure others know that if they have questions or just want to bounce feedback, he's always been there for others.
Great. All right, so thank you so much. Let's talk about referrals. How many of you are getting a fair portion of your business from referrals? Everybody's raising their hands. Isn't that a miracle? So year after year after year, I've been doing a study about referrals. Harvard Business Review, Entrepreneur Magazine, Forbes Magazine all say the same thing, that this is where your business comes from. So if you're not paying attention to that, you're making a huge, huge mistake. So I wrote software years ago called the Mycity Referral Software. And by the way, we are putting a lot of investment now into modernizing mycity.com to make it contemporary, to make it work. And if you go in, you can see all the referrals. We just made some changes yesterday, and one of them is talking about referrals. And I think if you go in there, you'll see some people that have we're listing out who gave a referral, and there's tons of them. It's still got some work to do, but boy, oh boy, I'm in love with it. I like where we're going with it. And anybody has any recommendations, please, call me, get back to me, and I'd love to hear, what you have to talk about. What changes, anything. I'm all ears. That's why I have 2 of these and only 1 of these. Okay.
Before you go, Maury didn't speak yet.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Maury.
Nice try, Maury.
Actually, thanks, but I was a fly on the wall. That's why. What I need is very kind of unique, and I can't really state it in the time allowed. So I just thought I'd listen to everybody, and if somebody matches my requirements or I can help them, I'll reach out. Thanks.
Beautiful. Put your information in the chat.
Sounds good, Bob. Yeah, and I saw your message. I said fly on a wall there earlier, Maury. Bob, if I can, about halfway through the chat section, I just want to say to everyone, what I did was I've got a link that I'd really appreciate if everybody would look at and repost it. It's basically to say, have you thought about selling your business, and that there's professional services available to you. You can kind of see it, but if and I think if we do this, I'm doing like right now, do it this week. Next week, if somebody puts up a post, why don't we all repost it and just do that? And I put it up there. It's about halfway through. You click on it, and if you can repost that, if it makes sense to you and it looks good, please repost it. And then I'm happy to support and do that for somebody else next week. And every week we can do that, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I'm glad you said that. Bob knows about my wild HP laptop. I can't save the chat, so he'll send that to me. But I happen to be going to a posting party at 4 o'clock today. And when I posted on my wall during that hour, they'll see it. So you must have been reading my mind. So yes, I will post it, sir.
Thank you.
It's all good stuff. Somebody started saying something.
Yeah, I said I'll do it too. And if anybody wants to go to my profile and subscribe to my, connect with me, subscribe to my newsletter, I'd really appreciate it. I can put my newsletter link in the chat.
Excellent.
Ask a favor. If you can send that to me on LinkedIn, I'll then just accept it immediately. If I'm not already on
that'd
there.
be great.
I really appreciate, and you might want to do that with others as well, but that's up to you.
It's interesting. It's interesting because we're all looking, it's the beginning of the year still. and we're all looking for different ways of growing our businesses. Is that a true statement? Love to see a show of hands.
Sure.
So what do you do that's different? And what the trouble that we all have is we get stuck in the ways we've been doing things. And that's the exact mistake that you make. You've got to think, my favorite expression, think outside the box. I've been doing a lot more posting on LinkedIn. So we'll see the ramifications of that as we go forward. But it's a lot better if you do like a post and then people will get back to you. That's an essential. So I love the AI industry. I think it's revolutionizing how we all do business, but business has not gone away. It's still the basics of what we do for ourselves, right? Now, talk to somebody like a Burke Franklin about how to think outside of the box as well. If you don't make that call, shame on you, you know, because you get other ideas. We are all trapped in our own minds. Is that a fair statement?
Pretty much.
Okay. So for any of you that don't know me, I'm under Karen, Caryn, and Bob Friedenthal, Friedenthal. It's in the chat. I came up with a very long last name on purpose. By the way, Friedenthal means Valley of Peace. You think that's true? Do you think I'm a butthead?
I thought you were a fried something.
Fried something. Yeah. My family, by the way, goes back 5 generations in the United States. So it's not like yesterday. And
I thought it was the name of a cheese.
Fried enthal.
Fried. God, you know, growing up, I was called everything, like Neanderthal, you know. But you know, when your name has a meaning to it, that says something. My family immigrated to the United States around 1840 to 1850. I actually have a pocket watch that was mined out of Sutter's Fort. They came, my dad's side of the family came through Germany, settled in Shreveport, Louisiana. You could tell by my accent, right? Then they came around the Horn on a clipper ship and settled in the Sacramento area. I have a watch that was mined out of Sutter's Fort. I love telling this story because it kind of tells you the history of an individual, right? And we all have history that we could talk about. Isn't that true?
So can you check the box Native American now?
Yeah.
Is that watch inscribed, Bob? Is there an inscription inside that old watch?
Yes, absolutely. It's interesting you brought that up. So 50 years ago, I took that watch in to be appraised. And I thought, maybe it's worth $3,000. 50 years ago, they appraised it at $50,000. What do you think that watch is worth now? $300,000-$400,000? And I was just actually at the safety deposit just the other day and pulled out the watch. You know, let me know if you want to see a photo of the watch. I'll gladly send it to you. All right, listen, we are at 8:59. Anybody have any final comments they want to make?
That's a great meeting and have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Yes. Thank
And
you
do a
again.
referral. And if you need me to help you put it through the system, I'll gladly do that because you want to be known as referral animal. You know, that's the key to your future success is by referring. It's the strongest form. Everybody wants to rub shoulders with people that give referrals. Okay.
Bob, I just want to say real quick that Emily has an amazing World of Abilities podcast that works with the autism and disability community. Business owners have amazing talent on that show. So for those like Bert Franklin who hint, hint, I'm an affiliate for, or educational Eileen Dawson with the Money Coach. Love to have you, or Emily would. So get with her and Kurt. They've got that's where my master connector comes from. I'll just be honest with you. That's my secret sauce. Emily and Kurt has been just a dynamic this week. So just want to throw that out.
Okay, so I have a meeting now with Eileen. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick everybody off the system. We'll just stay logged in. How does that sound? All right, great stuff. Great stuff. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.